and pornography or whatever it is that they do. When you look around at most people, they don't want to be fit, okay? Because it's not very hard, when you really think about it, to go to the gym 3 times a week for an hour each time. It's not that hard. And even with a half-decent diet, that's going to put muscle on your frame. So the same thing with fame, okay? And a lot of people, you know, would want to be a celebrity, but they're not willing to go on social media and blast out their brand and get recognition and get validation. Or some people don't want that at all. They want to be totally anonymous. You know, there's a lot of businessmen that don't want people to know about them. You know, even though those guys are worth 50, 100, 500 million dollars, no one knows about them, and that's how they want to keep things. Because they don't value fame. So some people explicitly want to avoid fame, but there's other people who would like to be famous, but they don't have an accurate picture of what it takes, or not willing to do the work because they don't actually value it. They actually value their leisure time, and this is 99.9% of people prefer leisure time, prefer relaxation, prefer spending their money on you know, things now, prefer to go into debt instead of save, prefer to work a job for a steady paycheck than take the risk of starting a business, even though they know that, you know, that's the only way to make the kind of money you need to get financial freedom. Prefer to watch videos about it instead of actually do it. Ultimately, they just don't value that stuff. They think they do, but they don't actually value it. And so then it creates conflict. In the same way that, you know, I don't value fitness, fame, and finances as much as some other guys do that are really pushing hard for $1 billion. You know, I value those things more than 99.9% of people, but a lot less than a lot of other very successful people. And I value quality of life more than that. Quality of life, like not getting hit by that fucking car. I value quality of life, you know, being able to exercise during the day and have sex and, you know, have girlfriends and, you know, eat well, go for coffees and stuff like that. Being able to have some of that, you know, free time, some of that leisure time, some enjoyment. And I really value not having to do things that I hate. I built this inbound marketing machine so I wouldn't have to do cold calls. I hate those. There's nobody that hates sales more than I do. I don't think it's humanly possible to hate outbound sales more than I do. So I built this machine to not have to do that. Even though I know I could go bang out 2 to 4 clients a month just pounding the phones. Not going to do it. There's a lot of things that I won't do for money anymore. Things that I had to do in the past, but things that I refuse to do now. And that was one of the major reasons why I pushed so hard for financial freedom. So I didn't have to do what I hated. Or I could do it a lot less and in a lot smaller doses and find people to delegate some of this stuff to. So, in summary, like, you know, if you want to add 30 to 50 pounds of lean muscle to your body, it's as simple as, you know, following my workout routine and then just 3 to 5 years in the gym. If you want to make 6 figures to 250K, high ticket service business, selling hard, 3 to 5 years. Same thing with blowing up on YouTube, or not blowing up, but you know, getting some recognition, getting your face out there, You know, that's going to get you recognized on the street if you have a good product. But it's also being able to say like, hey, I don't actually, you know, that might not be your value at all. You might want to be really wealthy. You don't care about being jacked. You just want to be healthy, and you don't want to be famous at all. Or maybe you want to be super jacked, but you don't care about fame, and you just want to make a 5-figure living and be able to pay down a house over 30 years or whatever. But recognizing that is so important, I've realized. Because it just it just clarifies your goals, and you're able to run on inspiration instead of motivation. And in terms of being happier, it's just night and day. The only thing I would say is be careful. I mean, sacrificing fame, sacrificing being super jacked, you know, if those aren't your values, it's not a big deal. But you might not think financial freedom's a value, and that's okay. But I would strongly encourage rethinking that, reshaping that, having a real true deep think, and see if you can get that to become a value. Because in my experience, if it doesn't become a value, you just tend to get smacked with the money problem for the rest of your life. And if you can make it one of your values, you're gonna have the inspiration, not the motivation, the inspiration to go out and get after it, to get it solved. And of the three, I think it's by far the most important, because it gives you the freedom to not have to do what you hate, and you know, to not be tied to one country, to not be tied to one city, not be tied to one boss that you dislike, and it's something that's truly worthwhile.